Hello everyone and welcome to Soul in the Raw. If you're new around here, I share weekly videos about veganism, about fitness, with recipes, stories, all sorts of stuff. So be sure to subscribe down below. And a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, I shared this photo on my social media and I told everybody that I was successfully gaining muscle on a vegan diet, and everybody went kind of crazy and asked me lots of questions. So I thought I would share some of the things that I do to gain muscle on a vegan diet. They are both diet related and fitness related. Of course, it goes together. So I'm gonna break it down for you. I'm gonna give you everything that I personally do, and I'm sure that it can work for you too. So first of all, the cool thing about eating a whole food plant-based diet is that not only does it help you grow your muscle and recover a lot faster, but it's also really healthy. So it's a win-win overall. The biggest question I got from people is what I eat to gain muscle on this lifestyle. So it's very simple, guys. It really is, guys and girls. I just eat whole plant foods. And I'm gonna share the whole blog post with these tips, and in the blog post I'm gonna link my 2-week meal plan, and this is a meal plan that I personally follow, and it's the way that I eat. The key is just to eat whole foods, not empty calories, no refined sugars, refined oils. The stuff that I always preach about, the stuff that I always tell you to do is just what I do. And make sure that you're getting enough calories. This is really key. So a lot of people, they won't eat enough, and they're not getting enough protein just because they're not eating enough food. It doesn't have to be specifically about the protein itself. It's just about the meals that they're eating. So when you're training, when you're lifting weights, you have to eat enough food. It's really, really important. So this meal plan is basically how I eat, except for I would say I tend to eat a little bit more fruit. So I would have more fruit-based meals for both my breakfast and my lunch, and then I'll have a savory meal for dinner. But in the meal plan, you also have a savory meal for lunch, but it really doesn't matter. It's all about getting those whole plant foods and nutrients into your body, and it's gonna ensure that you have way faster recovery too. Okay, so I mentioned protein, and I know you're all gonna ask about protein, so I'm gonna say it right now. Forget about it. It's not a big deal if you're eating enough calories when you're training. So it's going to be a little bit more than what you're normally used to. You're going to get your protein, and you don't need to stress about protein. I mean it. Even really famous bodybuilders like Robert Cheeke and others have said that they no longer take protein powder because it's not a whole food. It's not a healthy food because it's fractionated. There's no carbs, there's no fats in it. It's not good for you. It's actually some of the most processed food you can ever eat. So they don't do that. They just eat their beans, their grains. They just eat a really well balanced whole food plant-based diet, and that's what I recommend you stick to for gaining muscle and for just overall health. It all goes together. Another thing is make sure that you're staying hydrated. So make sure that you drink enough water before you go to the gym in the morning or whenever it is, and also take water with you to the gym. I don't eat anything specific or special before my workouts or after my workouts. I just drink tons and tons of water and make sure to stay hydrated. Also, make sure you sleep. Sleep is so key, and everybody's different with sleep. Some people need 7 hours and some people need 9 hours. Honestly, I feel like I'm probably on the 9 range, and I usually get less. I usually get from 7 to 8 just because I work so much and I'm so busy. So on my off days from the gym, on my rest days, I will not set an alarm and just sleep my butt off, because sleep is so important to allow your body to recover and your muscles to build during the night. Okay, and then my last food tip, which is something I do all the time, is to make sure that you're controlling for inflammation. So when you lift weights, you are creating stress in your body, which can lead to inflammation, and then it won't help you build muscle or recover quickly. So what you want to do is make sure you're getting your turmeric and black pepper every single day. Just a little bit, a quarter teaspoon of turmeric with some fat and some black pepper and some flax seeds every single day, because that's really, really going to help you with the inflammation, the soreness, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're confused about how to include those foods into your diet, I'm going to link some recipes that I have that are really awesome for flax seeds and for turmeric. All right, and now I want to switch to the gym, because that's, well, I wouldn't say the important part, but that's kind of the crucial part. Is if you really want to gain muscle, the way that I gained muscle in the last months is by lifting heavy. That's it. You just lift really heavy. And of course, you want to have proper form when you lift weights. That's really important. But you want to push yourself. You want to anywhere like on your last repetitions inside of your set. So let's say you're doing 10 reps or you're doing 8. I do anywhere from 8 to usually 12 and sometimes 15, but usually not. I stay on the lower reps and I just lift really, really heavy, and that's how my muscles have grown, and that's how I've seen progress. So I've really progressed on like bicep curls and shoulder presses, really, really heavy, heavier than I ever used to, and that's the only way that I've seen my muscle grow, seriously. You also want to vary your workout. So that's something that I did, and I've seen great results from that. So that means instead of doing the same exercises every time you go to the gym, first of all, it's super boring. So I used to do that and then I got really bored. You want to just vary your exercises. So that kind of creates the muscle confusion, and it just targets your muscles from different angles. So even if you do the same exercise, but you will lower your bench a little bit, or you'll do the same thing on the cable machine, and with your free weights, you think that it's the same thing, but it's really slightly different, and then it's going to be really good for growing your muscles in different variations. The next thing that's really helped me, and it's actually like one of my favorite parts of lifting, is connecting mind to muscle. So it's really tricky, but for example, when you're working on your back, or when you're doing a back workout, it can be really, really tricky because it's in the back of you and you can't see it in the mirror. It's really hard to kind of like really feel the exercise in your back muscles. So it's really important because your brain obviously controls your entire body and what happens to your body, which is really cool. It also really helps you connect with yourself. It helps you prevent injury because you can better tell when you're just like overexerting yourself. So something you can do is just ask somebody to tap your muscle, you know, if it's in the back or wherever it is, while you're doing the exercise, to really feel it there and to connect your mind to the muscle. But the cool thing that happens over time is that the connection forms. So once you really do it a few times and somebody like touches that muscle that you're working on, you'll just start feeling it exactly there every time you work on that muscle, and it's the best feeling, and it really also helps you gain muscle. And then last thing is make sure that you use proper form. So when I started lifting weights, I'm pretty sure I wasn't doing this. I was just kind of like, what do I do in the gym? Like I have no idea. So I just did whatever I kind of knew or thought I should. But everything changed a lot when my mom joined me in the gym, and I basically started training her. And when I started training her, she would ask me so many questions, even though by the way, I'm not a personal trainer, but I just really enjoy it. And I may become one, who knows, because I love it so much. But she would just ask me so many questions, and I was like, I don't know. So I started really noticing things. I started noticing my form. One thing you can do that I did, and it was really helpful, is just to watch like proper form videos on YouTube and really focus on how other people are doing exercises to see that you are using proper form. And also, don't jerk your weights. Don't get through your sets real quick just to get it over with. Do it really slow and controlled, and really notice that you feel it. So for example, especially like my shoulders, when I work the back of my shoulders or the rear delts, that's really when I do it super slow. And at the very top of your motion, for example, if you're raising your arm like this, you don't want to swing up. You want to just get to the point where it's static and it feels like it burns, and you hold it and then you go back down. So it's a very slow and controlled motion that is not a jerking motion, because if you jerk, you know, you're getting that that lift and like that help with the exercise, and you're not really using your muscle as much. So it's very important that you're super laser focused when you get in the gym, and you're doing everything slow, controlled, you're connecting your mind to your muscle. I have seen a major difference. And I also want to share, because I'm sure you'll ask about this, what do I do? Like, what is kind of my routine? So my routine changes all the time. Not only do I change my exercises, but I also change the order and the muscle groups that I work together and the days and everything like that. So right now I'm working out about 5 to 6 days a week in the gym, and then 1 to 2 days are kind of a rest day. I usually don't entirely rest. Sometimes I do, but on the rest days I will do yoga, and I also try to stretch every day at home at night and stuff. But I'll do some yoga, like some light yoga or some a little more intense yoga, or I'll do hiking. And then on the days that I go to the gym, I usually work 2 muscle groups every day. So I try to cover all my muscle groups twice a week, if that makes sense. And I'll do 8 exercises all together, so probably 4 per muscle group. And I really like supersets just because it makes it faster and more fun for me. So I'll group 2 different exercises for the same muscle, and I'll do them together for 4 sets, and I'll do anywhere, as I said, between 8 to 15 reps, usually 10 to 12 per muscle, because I do like to go heavy. But some muscles, for example your rear delts, as I said, I always go light because I like to do really slow and controlled motions, but most of the things I try to do really higher weights. And the muscle groups that I work are biceps, triceps, chest, shoulders, and legs, which is glutes, hamstrings, and oh my gosh, I always forget the front of my legs, the name of that muscle. It's like very interesting. It always happens. But anyway, that. So those are kind of like the groups. And yeah, I think that's it. That's pretty much what I've been doing for the past months, and I've seen like a major difference. I've been able to go up to 25 pounds in shoulder presses and bicep curls, which is amazing. And also legs, I've been able to lift a lot heavier. So it's been really fun, and I do it because I love it and I enjoy it. I don't really like force myself and struggle through the gym. So that's another thing, is like, if you don't like it, don't do it, you know. But the reason I love it so much is because it really, first of all, it makes me feel super strong, which is, it's just really fun to have muscle, you know, and feel strong and like be able to lift stuff around the house or whatever I need. But also I really like it because it helps me, as I mentioned, connect mind to body a lot better, which I never used to be able to do. So it's a really cool experience to have that connection. So I hope that's helpful, and if you have any questions, of course, let me know below. And also, if you want me to make a video about my fitness journey, or even a workout video about my routines and like what I do in the gym, I would love to do that. As I said though, I am not a professional. I'm just doing this for fun and I really enjoy it. So just keep that in mind. And also, don't forget to check out the meal plan that I use if you want to check that out. I am a professional in that department, as you know. So be sure to check it out. In the description box, I'll have a bunch of links for recipes with flax seeds and turmeric and the meal plan. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week.